welcome to my very long overdue FlossTube update. I have not been for an update since maybe the end of April. You're gonna hear my puppies. I'm sorry about that. They're loud and they're being very obnoxious today. But it's time for an update. This is gonna be kind of a July wrap up. But I'm going to show you everything that I have done in the last several months. In May, I went to a All Things Disney Annabella's Cross Stitch Retreat. That was a lot of fun. We got to meet Priscilla and Chelsea. And prayers to Priscilla because she is battling cancer right now, and she has put that out there. From what I understand, it's not something she really wants to dwell on or talk about, but everybody, if you could just send her all the love and all the prayers, I know that they will all greatly appreciate it. But we went to that, and while we were there, we went to Disney. Cody got to go to Disney. We went together. It was a lot of fun. And then after that, it just we jumped into like a super busy time work-wise, and Cody's dad is very sick, and we've been dealing with some things there, and just a lot. We've just had a lot going on, and unfortunately I have not been able to make the time to film a FlossTube update. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to show you what I've been working on. So the very first thing that I have to share is actually a diamond painting finish, and I don't have it here with me. I'm going to insert a clip or a photo or something for you to see, but it is Winter Welcome, and it's from Diamond Art Club, and it is finished. The frame is pretty much built. Now my dilemma has been, do I put it under glass or not? I might still be putting it under glass. I use plexi because regular glass is extremely heavy, and we own a needlework shop that also does custom framing, and we've tested it, and those frames, unless you do like a really big frame with extra backing or extra stability on the back, they're gonna fall off the wall. They're just gonna fall. And I don't want super big frames on my diamond paintings. They're very expensive, and even at wholesale they're expensive. So I wanted to do just a very simple black frame, and it's either gonna have plexi, I've got to get a price, or it's gonna be sealed. And I know sealing voids Diamond Art Club warranties, but the thing is, because this is a Christmas themed diamond painting, it's gonna go in storage when it's not on the walls, and that's gonna be, it would be on the walls November, December, maybe a little bit into January, and then it'll get put up. And so most of the year it's gonna be sitting in storage, and I don't want the drills to come off. So even though it voids the warranty, oh well, I am aware of that, but it's just gonna have to be if there's no glass on it. Anyway, so let me insert a picture of that here. So that is Winter Welcome. And then the next finish that I have is another Diamond Art Club finish, actually. And it is this super cute little, they call them mini easels. They call them mini easels, and I actually have another one. I haven't done it yet, but this is Ariel. And the one that I haven't done yet, I have Belle. And the parts that don't have diamond drills on them, they're actually not sticky. Like, these are not sticky. So that's nice. And it comes with a little wooden easel, and I don't have the easel in here with me, but this goes in my craft room next to my Disney tart warmer. It just sits. It took me like 2 hours to do this. Super, super easy. If anybody is wanting to try Diamond Art Club and has not, I do have like a little referral link in the description. But this is Diamond Art Club, super cute, and Belle is what I have to do next. And then I also finished a set of Diamond Art Club coasters, and I will insert a clip of those here. These were a TikTok shop purchase. And if you follow me on TikTok, you will have probably seen these. But it was a TikTok shop purchase. It's a set of 8 coasters. They go very, very well with my decor. They're in my bedroom on the nightstand. I did seal these with Diamond Art Sealer, which I also got from TikTok shop. They are not waterproof. So for glasses that are insulated, it's not a big deal. But if you have glasses that aren't insulated, the coasters they're raw wood. So you either, I sealed the top of them. I didn't seal the backs. So I'm looking for some of those like little clear cases you can set art coasters in. But if not, we'll just keep it to insulated cups, which is really pretty much all I use anyway, except for when I have coffee. So, but those were really cute, and those didn't take long to do each. I would say maybe an hour per coaster. And so I would work on them while I was watching TV or whatever, and they went really fast. So those were my Diamond Art finishes. And then this I was working on, and I had this finished actually. I had this done before our Disney retreat, but I didn't get to show it to you because they asked that we keep it a secret. So this is the finish that we did together with Priscilla and Chelsea, and the pattern, and I'm sure this pattern will eventually be released. But this is it. This is the finish. It's very, very cute. I did not do mine on the called for fabric. The called for fabric was white. And I also did mine on 32 count instead of 28 count. So mine is a little bit smaller than a lot of, pretty much everybody else's. I don't know if anybody else did theirs on a smaller count. I know lots of people did them on different colors. My mom did hers on a 28 count that was like blue and had little touches of green. It was very, very pretty. But I wasn't really thinking about the fact that it really might not match finishing materials, but it actually really does. This matches finishing materials really well. So this hangs on a little craft cabinet that I have in my craft room for spring and summer. So this is very, very cute. The rest of my finishes I'm actually going to save for the end because it kind of goes with a little bit of a something else. As far as actual stitching goes, I have stitched on quite a lot actually. So I have stitched, let's see. The first thing that I stitched on at the retreat whenever we went was my Tinkerbell piece by Pinky the Pink. And I've worked on it quite a bit since then, but this was a restart for me. I had started it the first time and I didn't like the way my little like quarter stitches were looking. And so I pulled them out and I'm redoing them. So this is where Tink is now. This is like the middle section right under her waist where her dress starts to kind of flare out. This is like the middle of the skirt. And so last time you saw this, I'd only had like a little bit of this lime flower done and maybe some into this green a little bit. So what I did was I finished all of that green, this green here, which is actually a blend, and I'm really happy I'm done with it. And then I went in and I filled in the lime flowers. And then there's a darker green up here that I added in. And then I took a break because this is very tedious stitching. I'm doing this on a 36 count. Yeah, it's a 36 count linen, which actually she's the one that actually charts this art. She recommended she said 36 count for beads and everything should be fine. So that is what I've done, and I like the way it looks. And y'all have to excuse the lighting. It's a really cloudy day out and I'm filming in a new place today. But this is where Tinkerbell got to. I'll see if I can find a before picture just so you can have it side by side. I did a lot. I did not count my stitches on this piece because I'd be counting for forever, and I don't want to be counting for forever. So that's Tinkerbell. I worked on Tinkerbell at the retreat and some since then. I worked on her last week actually. The next thing that I worked on, what is this? Oh, that's something else. I worked on And this was a start at retreat also. So I started the Shannon Christine gingerbread train, and I have the first 2 of these done. The only things that I haven't added, there's a couple of little French knots that are called for. I'm gonna be adding beads, but there's some little random beads in these that I have not added yet. So this was a new start since the last time we visited. Like I said, this is part 1, part 2, and those are completely done except for the little French knots. I'm doing this on 18 count raw opalescent Aida. It's gonna be, you know, longer. There's 9 parts to the train, but they stitch up so quickly and so beautifully, and I'm so happy with the way these look. They just go so fast. But I'm really loving this, and it's good from Christmas in July. I haven't worked on this in quite a while, but I have some other stuff going on. And I also have kitted and kind of ready to start. She did a gingerbread village series for her monthly Christmas club, and I'm gonna do that on the same fabric because the colors, it kind of goes together. I also had another new start, and this is part of a stitch along that I'm doing with my friend Samantha. We're doing Primrose Cottage like rules and like the row charts. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm doing Welcome to the North Pole. She's doing hive rules, and the goal is to finish a row a month. So when I stitch again, today is the 26th. So I need to finish this row. I have less than it looks, but this is my start on this. This is where I'm at. I think 2 days is all I've worked on this, and I have most of the white done. I got to fill in trees, and then there's a tree over here as well that has white and some snowflakes, but I didn't want to count too far, so I'm gonna add those in after I add trunks. And I am kind of changing some colors. I'm adding some purples and pinks instead of just using the reds and darker greens and stuff. So I am changing some colors out. We'll just kind of see how that works. But I'm also doing this on that same 18 count raw opalescent Aida. And this is stitching up really nicely and really quickly. I'm excited to see if I meet my goal for the month. We'll see. But got that started. And then I have also worked on some full coverages. So let's see. Actually, it might just be the one full coverage, but this is, I restarted my Disney Princess piece, and it is now on 32 count, and I'm stitching it full cross over 2 because over 1 was just like absolutely killing me. So this is going to be really big. This is page 1 and kind of into page 2, but there are some colors in here now. So there's lavender, there's some green, there's like pink, I think just lavender and pink. So, oh, and a very dark purple down here, which almost blends in with the black. But this is where I got to, and again, excuse the light, y'all. I'm so sorry about the lighting. But this is a huge piece of fabric, and it's just for this piece. So that is where we are on my Disney Princess full coverage piece. And I think it's going to be beautiful. And I do have, well, I guess I should slow my, I do want to work on my Pokemon some more. I have not worked on that. And then I had tried to work on a full coverage piece. I had started Butterfly Ball. This was my little start on that. And I remeasured my fabric because I got this fabric for a different piece, and I decided to do something else on it. And so what happened was I got into the project and I started thinking, I was like, I'm wondering about the size of this. I'm not really sure about the size. And it turns out my fabric is not wide enough for Butterfly Ball. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off at some point, not right now, but I'm gonna stitch a mini or 2 on that piece of fabric. I don't know which mini I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna do minis on it, and we'll just see how how that plays out and how that works. Marley, you're gonna knock the tripod over, honey. Go lay down. Thank you. Anyway, so those are really actually all of the stitching projects that I've had going. I don't think there's any more other than what I've finished, or yeah, what I've finished, and I'm fixing to show you that. And then I'm gonna talk to y'all just a touch about haul before I get into this other thing that I want to discuss. So haul wise, I actually don't have very much. I got one of the new mirrors. This is Madam Mermaid, and it's a mirror. It's a big one. And then I got the bead pack for her. And then I got the next 3 mini villages from Country Cottage Needleworks. I got June here. Sorry about the light. Then July, and I got August, which September might be out by now, and we just haven't ordered it yet. And then I got the Celebration piece from Rosewood Manor. We have some of these in stock. They should be on our website. I saw this model at Market. She had it all stitched up. It was absolutely stunning in person. The fireworks are all Petite Treasure braids, so they're metallic. It calls for some specialty stitches, like there's a 12-point hexagon, an Algerian eyelet, a diamond eyelet, back stitches, of course, and then everything else is DMC. And it's done on a piece of linen from Grace Notes Fabrics, but you could do this on really anything. You could do it dark, light, whatever. But I think it's absolutely stunning. I'm going to do it on a darker piece of linen. I just don't know what yet. America turns 250 years old in 2026. So my goal is to have this stitched for that. We'll see, but that's the plan. I got a Just Cross Stitch Christmas from Hirschner's. This is this year's book. There are some very cute pieces in here that I can definitely see myself stitching. Less this year than I think in previous years, but there are a bunch. I'm happy to do a flip through of that for y'all if y'all ever want to. And then I also got the Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine. Then I also have a new full coverage piece. It's a Church for All Seasons. I bought the chart, or maybe I didn't buy it. Maybe it's just in my cart. It might just be in my cart, but I got it. I got the fabric to start that finally. So I should be able to get that done and get that going and started. But anyway, okay, so let's talk about the last few finishes that I had that I was saying I wanted to kind of wait a minute and share with y'all. For the needlework market, I had decided that I wanted to design my own pattern because I wanted it to be a Disney chart because it was a Disney themed retreat, but I couldn't really find anything that I liked because I wanted to use some beads and maybe some sparkly thread. I wasn't sure. So what I ended up doing was I charted a set of Minnie Mouse ears, like the headband, and I did it all in beads, completely in beads. And I did it was all black ears and a black headband with a red bow with little pearl polka dots on the bow. So that's what I stitched. I think that the lady that got mine really, really liked it, but I wasn't totally thrilled with how they looked as far as like the shape of the ears. So I came back home and I started kind of redesigning it. And what I came up with, I was really happy with, and I'm fixing to show you what it is. And it's not all beads, but there are beads. So this is Minnie, and I stitched them big enough where they could be like a larger ornament. And I did pearl beads, and I did tinsel trim from Lady Dot Creates, and I backstitched the name and put my initials, and I'm really, really happy with the way that these turned out. You can see my finishing on the back. It's just a nice flat ornament. So that's Minnie. But then I said, you know, I've always wanted to kind of design patterns what if I do like a whole series of these ears? And so naturally, the next one that I did was Minnie's BFF, Daisy. So I did Daisy, and this model, the fabric is just the teeniest bit wrinkled. This fabric is very, very soft. It's really, really soft, but I wanted to do it on a different color. So you see it's just really soft. It didn't hold real well. That's just this fabric though. It has nothing to do with my model. And these are a little bit smaller too. So you can see for comparison, I wanted to show what a different count would be like. So these are just a touch smaller, but these are Daisy's ears. And again, the D, it's because of how soft and flimsy this fabric is. I had some trouble with the back stitching, but the chart, I did her bow. I gave her, of course, white ears because Daisy's a white duck. And then she wears lavender and pink all the time. Normally a lavender shirt or pink shirt. And whichever shirt she's not wearing, her shoes are the opposite. And so I gave her a purple bow with a pink outline. And if you can see it, I made it look like it's kind of like curved. So that's Daisy. And then I thought, okay, who else can I do? Like, who else can I make? So the next princess that I designed was actually, I'm gonna show you the next one I designed last because she's my favorite out of the ones that I've done. So the next one after that, I decided, well, let me do Snow White. And I am gonna show you on here, there's a little bit of an issue with my back stitching on the model. The chart is fine. The problem is the way that I back stitched. And so I am gonna change this on the chart so that there's no chance of it happening to anybody else. But this is Snow White, and this is my problem. See the I and the T, the bottom of the I actually connects with the bottom of the T. And in the chart, they don't connect, but in the stitching, they do a little bit. So I don't want that to happen to anyone else. So I'm gonna kind of adjust it some. On the it's fine, like on the chart it is fine, it'll work, but I did this on Aida too and not an even weave, and I needed it to go in like between the two holes in the Aida, and I couldn't obviously make that happen. So anyway, this is what it looks like, and my little bow is squished, but I wanted to do more than just beads for these. I wanted the princesses to be very, very sparkly and just like very elaborate and fancy schmancy, you know? So what I did was I did beads, and I did beads around the bow like I have for Daisy and Minnie, but I also added more beads and I added Krennic. So this is what we have. So there's the beads around the bow, and then these are 3D Krennic bows, and I need to tack the actual bow loops. So 3D Krennic bows, and then you have the crisscross here with the gold beads. What is that? It's like cinched. The waist thing? Corset. That's kind of what I wanted it to have going for it. And then over here, I did the reverse with the V, and then I did back stitch little sparkles and diamonds. You can see it better in person, kind of how the little diamonds, they just look like little jewels, and they're faceted. And I'm really happy with how these turned out. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I need to tack my little bow loops, but my little 3D bows and everything, like, this was great. This was Snow White. So after Snow White, I was trying to think of a design for a couple of other princesses, and I was drawing a blank, and I had one just hit me upside the head for Merida from Brave. And so I pulled out, this one I did on an even weave, and it is a little bit more round than oval, but this is Merida. And again, she has her beads around her bow. This is a 3D bow right here. You can't really see it on the camera real well, but that's a 3D bow there. And she's got the corset stitches all the way down. And then this is like a lacy edge. Focus, focus. This is like a lacy edge back stitch on the sides of the corset. And then over here, there's a bear paw print. See that? So that's Merida. And there's a back stitch arrow going through her bow in gold Krennic. And again, the Krennic, you can see it so much better in person than you can on the camera. And I will have nice, pretty pictures of this soon. But you can see I did Krennic all in the bear's paw. And that's a piece of hot glue. And I did the trim with this rope instead of the tinsel. I like the rope better. It's a little bit classier. But the tinsel is so much fun. So there's Merida. And then let me show you my very last one. This is the third one that I designed. And the inspiration struck me so quick. Like, so quick. I knew exactly what I wanted to do for her almost right away. So this, okay, this is the back. Can you guess who she is? Can you guess? So this is Meg from Hercules, or Megara. Her friends call her Meg. So this is Meg. And I love these. So she has a purple bow and it is back stitched in gold. No beads around this one. And then she has the center of her bow is beaded around. And then that is like the little lightning bolt, like on Hercules's belt and his chest and everything. So this is the lightning bolt. And then, she has, this looks like her dress with her belt, and she's got the gold circles on her belt. So that's her dress. And then over here, I kept thinking of the garden scene where she's kind of fallen in love with Hercules. And so I backstitched rows of vine with leaves and then just added a few gold beads in. And I love this. I love this so much. And I have another princess designed. I have to model stitch her. And then I'll have 6 of them. And I'm going to do one for all of the princesses. And then possibly, I'm thinking of doing like Simba and Nala and those. I'm not sure yet. But I have some ideas for my next design. I'm not going to tell you who they are yet, but I'd love it if you told me in the comments who you'd like for them to be, if you care at all. My Etsy shop is going to be linked in the description box, and you can go and you can see all of the designs. I do have a pattern keeper file in all of the patterns, so if you buy and you get your downloads, there should be a pattern keeper. It'll say Meg PK or whatever. That'll be the pattern keeper file. And I did check out, like, there's mock-ups. I don't have the actual nice pretty photos on the listings yet, but these are the models for those designs. And just be gentle, okay? I put like a file how to cross stitch and instructions, and it tells you kind of how to place your bow. You place your bows by looking at the photos. And I list out materials, what beads are used and what symbols and all that. I would like if anybody that orders, I would love feedback. Nice, kind, constructive feedback. Or if you just want to tell me that you like it, whatever. But I would like some feedback in a good way, like give me, because I've never designed anything before, and I would like a chance to correct things that you might all see as an issue, as long as I'm able to do so. Because like I said, I've never designed anything before. This is my first time selling patterns. The only places that you're going to be able to get these as of now is from my Etsy, and then I will also have printed patterns available at our needlework shop eventually, here soon. So if you want a printed pattern, we will eventually have those linked like on our website, so you can order printed patterns. But as of now, I think Etsy is probably going to be the best bet. It's going to take a little while for me to get them printed and all of my photos taken and everything. But yeah, so I've jumped into the design world and I have some ideas for some other things. I would like to design like some holiday villages, like a sugar plum village, like nutcrackery maybe. Do like a fall, like a Halloween version, an Easter version. I'd like to do some things like that. I have a Mardi Gras chart that is done. I have to model stitch it and I'm really excited about that. But everything I do, my style is very very blingy, very shiny. I'm gonna have beads, I'm gonna have metallics. Who knows, one day I might add specialty stitches. I'm really not sure, but that's just my style. And I would love it too if you would tell me what you want to see in the future, not just princess ears and character ears, but other things that you might like to see. I would love that. But I think that's kind of it for my crafting. I haven't sewn anything. I've just ordered some nice, like really good alcohol markers to try some coloring. I'm still diamond painting and all of that. And back to whips, I actually forgot one. I also have a new diamond painting start, a larger one. It's going to be a gift for my goddaughter, and it's Disney princesses. And I have 2 pages done. And typically what I do is I post on TikTok for people and here in my Instagram stories for people to vote on what page I do next. So I'm kind of skipping around, which is fun. But yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of crafting, but I have also at the same time made progress because, I mean, this has been a lot. These have been a lot. And stitching them, they don't take too long to stitch, but they do take a while, a few hours each. And so the mail lady came and my dogs lost their minds. So I decided I'd go open it because I was expecting a package. I totally forgot to tell y'all. I got a ticket to the Midsummer Night digital whatchamadoodle that Lindy Stitches put on, and I bought some things. So I bought a PDF pattern of some Luna moths, but then I also bought some things that she had to ship. So I thought I would show y'all that. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so the things that I bought. First off, I got some, it's called a Midsummer Night's Dream. It's a tea, and it's valerian root nighttime tea. You could do it hot, you can do it cold, but it's got valerian root, honeybush tea, chamomile, spearmint, passion flowers, lemon balm, lavender, cherries, and blue cornflowers. And I got tea bags instead of loose leaf. I do prefer that, but I'm happy to do loose leaf, so I got that. I got a kit from Satsuma Street. It's called Fungi, as in fungi, mushrooms. And it's a little skull with all of the little mushrooms coming out and growing out. And that was part of her Halloween kits. And I did not get this one at market, so I grabbed it. And then I got the exclusive Pantini pins. And I got the exclusive fabric from Bestitch Me, and it's called Midsummer. And I got 32 count linen. And holy mackerel, I'm gonna open it. I don't know what I'm gonna stitch on this. I really don't, but I'm gonna stitch something. And part of me kind of has an idea about it, but I don't know. It's so beautiful. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. It's purples and blues and pinks. And I'm dead on the floor. I'm dead on the floor. This is a quarter yard. And it's flippin' beautiful. It is the most beautiful. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. I absolutely love this fabric. I honestly, so my friend Samantha that I'm doing the stitch along with, she was like, hey, do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I saw she released this as an exclusive. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it just so I can get the fabric. The ticket was $15. But I also got these other exclusive things. So the pattern I bought was an exclusive. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that's more haul. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I've read a ton of books. We do have a Stitchers book club on Goodreads. Jessie Marie started it, and then she passed the torch for admin responsibility, and I volunteered to take that on. And Marley, leave him alone. Hey, leave him alone. Marley. They're wild. They're wild dogs. Stop. I volunteered to take that on. And so I'm not running it exactly the same way as she did. She was super active in there, and I totally understand why she passed it off, because it was hard to keep up, I know, with her and her baby and like everything that she had going on at the time. It's still a lot, so we don't do as much. But we are in August. We're going to be reading a romance, and we're going to be reading a nonfiction. There was a tie for the genre vote. So the poll right now is live for the poll for the actual book vote. The nominations have already been made. The poll is up until Sunday at midnight. And then we will know what we'll be reading for August. I'm planning on posting some games and things. Also, I broke my foot, which is another reason why I was away for a bit. So I will link the Goodreads group, the Goodreads group down below if you'd like to be a part. It's a slower group. There's not a ton going on all the time. But we do enjoy posting and reading each other's comments and interacting with each other. So if you would like to join us, please come join us. We'd love to have you. I have some co-admins that are assisting me with certain things. Bonnie and Miss Sharon are all admin. They're both adminning for me and kind of helping pick up some slack. And then they run threads of their own. So I really appreciate all that help so much. And yeah, I think I covered it all. This isn't really the longest video, and I feel like maybe I sped through some things, but I am really going to try to be on a 2-week schedule if I can get to crafting. If you ever see me and I only come back once in the month, it's because I have not crafted as much, but I guess I could still come back no matter what. But anyway, I'm at 37 minutes now. I really hope that y'all have enjoyed spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to link everything that I talked about down below. And I will see you hopefully in a couple weeks.